welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and supporting me. And as always, make sure you like and make sure you comment and make sure you subscribe. So as y'all can see by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about a ruined girls trip. So this happened about a year and a half ago, around like May of, it's literally going to be a few days until 2023. May of this upcoming year, it's going to be 2 years. The time went by so fast. But I've been wanting to do this story time, but I like waiting until situations kind of blow over before I, just jump right into it or whatever. So just to give y'all a little background, so me and this one particular girl, I'm not going to say names, me and this one particular girl, it was around like 2018, I would say. Me and her, we met online. My very first business was a hair company, and I believe her first business was selling lashes or whatever. So we pretty much collabed from Instagram. She found my business page, I found her business page, and then from there, we just started talking. Now, mind you, y'all know I live in North Carolina, right? She lived up north in Chicago, Illinois or whatever. So now she does a whole lot of traveling, right? So fast forward to 2021 of last year, right? At the time I was living in Greensboro, North Carolina, right? And she like, hey girl, I'm finna come, she was like, is it okay if I come down these days or whatever? And I'm like, yeah girl, that's cool. Now, I'm not gonna put the blame all on her, right? Because, part of it was me too. I did not prioritize like I was supposed to. I did not take full responsibility before she came down here. So, it's not all her fault. It's my fault too. So I was like, yeah, girl, you can come down these days. I would love to hang out with you. We haven't officially met each other yet, so I would love for us to meet in person. So, beforehand, we FaceTime and we talking and texting, and the way that we communicated, you would think that we were close friends. We did become close friends, We did become close friends, but, you would think that she lived right down the street from me or whatever. I'm like, yeah, girl, come down. Let's have fun or whatever. But I did tell her beforehand, I was like, hey, sis, I don't want to spend but so much money. I still have bills to pay. I still got to pay, all these bills and stuff like that, And she was like, yeah, okay, cool. So we talked and we was just like, okay, we're going to do this, and that. Okay, cool. And so fast forward, she comes down, right? Now, y'all know that anytime that if you fly into Greensboro, the price of the flights are just ridiculous. It's best to fly into either Raleigh or Charlotte. So Charlotte, she was like, hey girl, I'm gonna fly into Charlotte, because she was like, the flight to Greensboro just too much. I said, yeah girl, that's cool. And now she did ask me, she was like, hey sis, do you need gas money? Now at first I will say I did say no. I did. Then when she got here, I didn't know we were gonna do as much running around as we did. So I'm like, I'm saying I need a little bit of gas money or whatever. And so she lands, right? She gets here and I go and pick her up from the airport. Now from Greensboro to Charlotte is an 1.5-hour drive there and back. So I go and pick her up, like, hey girl, hey, what I'm saying? It was like we already knew each other or whatever. So I pick her up. We come back, everything is good or whatever. Everything is good. We going out. We went to this little, if you ever in Greensboro, make sure you visit the Rich Girls Museum. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, the celebrities be there. Cash Doll has been there. Glorilla has been there. A whole bunch of other different celebrities. They literally just pop in to take pictures. It's a little selfie museum. So we go there and we went out to eat, and we went to a lounge. We did quite a few things, but pretty much in the process, I'm telling her, I'm like, hey sis, I'm the type of person, y'all, if you know me, I'm the type of person, I'm cool. We can sit in the house, we can watch movies, we can order pizza, we can sit in the house and chill. We don't always have to go out. But that's where my mistake came in at, because and there's nothing wrong with that, she's an outgoing person, she be out, so she be out partying just about every weekend. Now it's been a long time since I spoke to her now, but she's the type, she likes clubbing, she likes partying, she likes going out, she likes being in the spotlight, she likes being outside. Now me, I'm not really no outside girl, I'm a homebody. Like, I go outside sometimes, but like you ain't gonna see me outside. Like, if I'm outside, I'm at work for real. Like That's me being outside for real. The first day was cool. Picked her up from the airport. We went out to eat. And we was about to go and get our nails and our toes done. And we got there, and I think there was like, they said something like, oh, we're booked for the day, or you have to come back another day or something like that. Now that night I was supposed to go to work. I ended up not going to work. I just like, for real, I did not feel like going to work for real. I ended up not going to work that night. So I believe, honestly, y'all, it's been a while ago. I'm really trying to remember every single detail, but I got back home. We got back home, and we're just pretty much chilling. For I remember the first day after I got back home, pretty much was just chilling or whatever. But fast forward, right? Fast forward. You know, have y'all ever been on a trip and y'all just realize like small things with people? Now, me, I'm not a judgmental person, because, you know, everybody lives a different lifestyle. You can't expect everybody to be just like you, right? So I realized it was just like little small things that was just kind of like popping up. I do remember at one point I did end up asking her. I was like, look, you know, I need gas money. Because like I said, I didn't know we were going to do as much riding around as we did. Mind you, she came down, you know what I'm saying? We're riding around in my car or whatever, which, you know, would only kind of make sense. So she was like,
oh, you know, I don't have any gas money to give you.
And mind you, she asked me, did I need gas money before? Yes, I did say no at first. But then I was like, you know what I'm saying? I need a little bit of gas money. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'll figure it out. So fast forward. I remember she was, you know, she's down here, right? And I'm pretty much like, you know, what do you want to do? I was like, what do you want to do? I was like, oh, it's this place over here if you want to go get tacos. She was like, no, I want to get tacos or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. And she was just like, I remember we went to Rainbow. She was like, let's just do a little bit of shopping. Okay, cool. So she's the type, you know, every girl is different. She's the type, every occasion she wants to get new clothes, new shoes, which is cool. But again, me, I'm more conservative. Like, honestly, I can make a very cheap outfit look very, very, very cute. And I remember we went to the mall one time. And if y'all know that store named Aldo, I think Aldo was like a shoe store or whatever. And I'm looking at the price of these shoes, and I'm just like, no. And anybody that knows me, I don't like wearing heels. Like, you will never see me out and wearing heels. Like, I don't like wearing heels. Like, I prefer sandals, slides, flip-flops, Crocs, you know, and, you know, sneakers. That's my vibe or whatever. So we went to the lounge that I was telling y'all about, right? And she was like, girl, you need to try something different. I was like, I don't like heels. She was like, well, girl, you need to just do something different. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now, mind you, I'm going to do a little video about this too. Some of y'all noticed, yeah, I did lose weight. I did. But so a year and a half ago, I was big. I was big as hell. Like, I really was big. So that was my other thing too. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't fully secure and fully confident with myself. So it's like, I ain't finna be walking around like a penguin. Y'all, let's be honest. People know when you can't walk in heels, because you walking like a penguin. You can't walk straight. People know when you don't rarely wear heels. So I had these little heels. They're probably like this tall. They weren't really, really tall heels. And I can't remember if I got a new outfit or not. I know I did buy another outfit, but I don't know if I wore it that night or whatever. And you know what I'm saying? We went to the lounge or whatever. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like the lounge was beautiful. Loved it. But I didn't really like the music that was playing. It was like very it kind of sounded like cleaning music. It was like very boring. I was just like, I'm kind of ready to go or whatever. And like I said, you know, we went out to eat. We went to the selfie museum. We did a lot of things. But I told her multiple times before she even came down here, I'm like, I don't want to spend this much and this much money. X amount of money. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep it within a certain range. And what I realized is when you're dealing with people that like to go out all the time, just about every chance they get. You know what I'm saying? You can't really get that through somebody's head that's like that. And being friends, of course you have differences. You have things that you do different. She's a drinker, I'm a smoker. Now, at the time, I didn't have no weed on. I didn't barely have no weed on me or whatever until I had bought some later on. So when I don't have weed, you know what I'm saying, I'm smoking like Black and Miles or whatever. Now that it's just like, now that I'm like a little bit smaller than what I used to be, it's just like I understand the smell being a lot stronger. It used to not bother me as much, but like the smell is, I will say the smell of like a Black and Mild. Now me, I don't know about y'all, I cannot smoke no cigarette. I don't see how y'all smoke, I can't smoke no cigarette, but the smell of a Black and Mild is a lot stronger now. And the fact that she's a drinker and like she don't smoke at all, like she used to, but like she's like a complete drinker. Excuse me. Now, you know what I'm saying, I'm understanding it more or whatever. Excuse me. But I really, like I said, it just be like little small things that people say that just kind of like be rubbing you the wrong way. I remember driving, I can't remember if we were in Charlotte or we was back in Greensboro. And I'm driving, and y'all know when it's traffic coming both ways, you can't just pull out in the road. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't. And I could tell she had got impatient with me just sitting there. And she like, girl, go, go, go. And I'm like, girl, what do you mean? It's like traffic. She was like, girl, just pull out on the road. She's like, girl, just pull out on the road and sit there and then turn. She was like, do you need me to drive? And I'm like, go ahead. Like, go ahead. She did get us out on the road, but it's just like, I have fear of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, this is my car. You're riding in my car. Because if anything, I could have been like, okay, well, take a rental car to my house. I didn't have to drive all the way to the airport, back to my house, and then back to the airport. You know what I'm saying? That was me offering to do that or whatever. And I went, you know, I kind of say the same thing with the heels, but then again, I wouldn't say that's all her. That was me too. I was like, well, you know what? Maybe I need to try something different. And honestly, y'all, when I put those heels on, I'm just like, why do I have these heels on? I already know that I don't like wearing heels. Like, I don't like wearing heels. That's not my forte. And we went in the lounge, and I'm just like, ugh. I felt uncomfortable in the heels, but I'm just like, okay, we here now, whatever. But yeah, back to the driving incident. You know, that's what happened with the driving or whatever. And I realized when I was driving, the more I was driving, she was just saying like little small things. Like, we were, okay, I'll get to this part in a minute, but we were headed this particular day. I think she was here for like 3 or 4 days. I can't exactly remember, somewhere around that. We were headed to a little concert. Well, it was like a performance at a club. So y'all know, you know what, let me just go ahead and get to it. Y'all know I love Blue. Like, I love Blue. I love him. I love Blue, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's coming to Fayetteville. Go see him. I'm gonna go see him. Backtrack before the concert, right? I pretty much had did everything that she wanted to do. Even me, I pretty much went against what I said, and I kind of let her take the lead. Because I told her, I'm like, girl, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to, we ain't got to be outside from the time the sun is up till the time the sun goes down, you know, until it's dark outside. Like, that's really not, to me, that's like really not necessary. So to sum everything up, I had been doing every little thing that she wanted, just about every little thing she wanted to do. And, you know, of course, when we decided to go to the lounge, right, we decided to go to the lounge, she was just like, oh, you know, the outfit. I'm like, girl, I have outfits in my closet. She was like, girl, you don't wear that to, she was like, you don't wear that to a lounge. She's like, you never know who you're going to meet at a lounge. You never know if you're going to meet this person or that person or whatever. And I gave in. I'm like, okay. Let's just go and get another outfit. So we got another outfit. But here's the problem when I brought up that I wanted to go to the concert or the lounge or whatever. She told me, she was like, I feel like you're being kind of thirsty with this situation, because she was like, girl, I'm not sure if I'm leaving. She pretty much was saying she wasn't sure if she was leaving that day or if she was leaving tomorrow. Because when I had seen this little ad, not an ad, but y'all know when a celebrity is in town, they're gonna have like a flyer posted on Instagram. We were at a little Japanese steakhouse restaurant, and and I had saw the little ad, the flyer pop up. And I'm like, I'm going. And I even told her, I'm like, you don't have to go if you don't want to. You can stay at my house and I can go, honestly. Because I'm the type of person, if I want to go somewhere and ain't got nobody else to go with me, I literally will go by myself. And she told me, she was like, I feel like you're being kind of thirsty because I'm not sure if I'm leaving. Pretty much was saying she's not sure if she's leaving that day. And I think it was a Saturday. She was like, I'm not sure if I'm leaving like Saturday or Sunday or whatever. And I literally told her, I was like, you don't have to go if you don't want to. But she ended up going or whatever. She ended up going. And y'all know when you buy tickets from like a promoter, you can either cash out them or either like you can pay when you get there. So I ended up cash apping. We get there. I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to see Blue or whatever. And I remember them because we were like some of the first few to get there. And I realized when it's something that she wanted to do, was kind of like she was being very, very pushy, very rushified, and kind of like a little bit demanding. And I know I'm from down south, she up north, but at the end of the day, respect is respect and common courtesy is common courtesy. Like, I don't care who you are, because I feel like a lot of people, this is just my opinion, I really feel like a lot of people say that they want respect, but they're not willing to give that to other people, or they're not willing to show some form of respect, but they want you to give it to them. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is not all her fault. This is my fault too. I was being irresponsible too. So we get there, we're one of the first few to get there. And I remember they gave us VIP wristbands. And I'm like, oh my God, we got VIP wristbands. So y'all know at a club performance, you'll have like a barrier gate that separates the VIP from general admission. So we're there, like, we had a good time. We're there, we had a good time. It was a little hole in the wall, but we had such a good time. And I remember seeing Blue walk in, right? And I'm trying to tell her pretty much before the crowd gets crazy. Now, this wasn't like it wasn't a huge club. It was a medium-sized club. And I'm like, girl, we have VIP wristbands. Let's go into the VIP section. And I remember her just standing there, and she was just like, she just kept nodding her head, and then she was just pretty much like ignoring me or whatever. And I'm short, like, I don't have no height. She's even a little bit taller than me. So the guy, like, the people that were in front of us, they were tall. They were tall men. So, and pretty much everybody else was pretty much taller than me or whatever. And the barricade that separates the VIP from the general admission, it was like a little seat in the front of the VIP, right? It was a seat there. And you had some people, like, kind of standing up on it. Now, okay, so it was this one girl. I don't like saying, she was a little person. I don't like saying she was a little person, right? So I understood her standing up on there. From what I remember maybe like one other person. Y'all get it, like those little seats, some people be standing up on the seat so they can see, because if you're short and like you further in the back, you can't really see. So here's the barricade or the gate that separates it, right? And I'm like, I'm literally putting my weight on the gate because I could not see just at a regular stance. I had to stand up and push my weight on the bar to see him. And I'm telling this girl multiple, I'm like, girl, why? They literally gave us VIP wristbands. Why would you not want to, why would you not want to be in the VIP section? It only makes sense. And I told her too, I'm just like, hey girl, let's see if we can, get a quick little meet and greet in before he leaves. And she like, okay. And so, we didn't get to do that or whatever. And we're leaving the club, and she's just like, it was something she had said, but pretty much she got irritated because some guy walked in front of her, or somebody like walked in front of her. But mind you, we're in a crowd full of people. If you're in a crowd full of people, people are gonna walk in front of you, they're gonna walk directly beside you, and they're gonna walk directly behind you. You can't really navigate which way people are walking. And I don't know about y'all, I don't like going out with people as if you have something to say about every little thing. Even if you don't call yourself complaining, to me that is complaining, because to me that means you're being very ungrateful. You're not looking at the good side of the situation. You're just making it all about you and what you want to do, right? And I remember heading back to the airport. Mind you, all this went on and I'm still driving her back to the airport. And again, I asked her for gas money. Matter of fact, before I forget, after we left the lounge, not the club where we saw Blue perform, but when we left we went to another lounge, right? Like a day or two before, I decided to stop by Taco Bell. And I told them what I wanted, and she was like, okay, tell them I want a Powerball. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, wait a minute. She want me to pay for her food, pay for her stuff? Now, she did pay for the part. Like I said, I can't really speak on the museum. Like, I don't really remember all of what happened at the selfie museum. Part of the museum, she did pay for. I felt like another part of it I ended up paying for. But like I said, I don't really want to speak on that too much. But pretty much, I literally overspent. I don't even want to get into that because it's kind of emotional. I really overspent on top of me taking her back to the airport. And I remember going back to the airport, driving her back. And I'm like, just next time you come down, I don't want to spend as much money as I did. And she literally said nothing. She just looked at me, and then I'm driving, she looked back at the road. And on my way back home, I'm crying because I'm just like, what do I do? So I called my best friend, and I really have two best friends if you think about it, but I called both of my friends, texted them, and I'm like, hey, could I get money? Can I please get money for gas? Can I please get money for food? I have barely ate anything all day. And, I need gas in my car to get back home. They're like, yeah, girl, I got you or whatever. But it became very embarrassing because the fact that I kind of let her talk me into something that I already said that I wasn't going to do. And did I say anything? Did I confront her when she was here? No, I didn't, because I was just like, well, she's living in my house. Well, not living in my house. She's staying in my house for a few days. She's hours away from home. I don't like conflict. I don't like arguing. I'm not going to make a big deal out of this. But I remember when she got back home, I was sending her voice messages and stuff about how I felt. And everything that I just explained to y'all is what I explained to her. And she still did not get it. And I was like, okay, let me just give it a break a little bit. Excuse me. We gave it a break, and we tried being back friends again or whatever, right? Excuse me. I don't want to make it seem like I'm talking down. I don't really like talking down about people. I'm just trying to explain what happened and what was going on. So she's the type of girl, she'll take a trip every month, every 2 months, and pretty much her priorities don't be together. Now, at the time, mine weren't all together. So, you know what I'm saying? So I can't sit here and say, oh yeah, her priorities ain't all together. Mine wasn't all together either. I just don't want to I don't want to completely put the blame on the other person when it was also my fault. So you see what I'm saying? And, flew out and trips, vacations, which is nothing wrong with that. But I came to a realization I never understood. I'm just like, so how does she have money to take all these trips, go all these places, But she said for gas money, she couldn't even give me gas money. And I literally remember looking on Snapchat around just as soon as she got home, within the same week, she's literally at like a baseball game and she's like out to eat, pretty much going out. And I'm like, and you took a Uber when you got home. You know, you had to take a Uber for you to get home from the airport. So when I really summed everything up, I'm like, okay, this is just a facade. At least me, you know what I'm saying? At least with me, it was just like, you know, I didn't feel like I said, my priorities weren't all together at the time too, but you can kind of pinpoint when people are putting on an act, because it's like, okay, you have this, you know what I'm saying? You have, you know, you say you have this, you say you have that, but like the things that you really need, you don't have. And it's other things too, but like I said, I don't want to, I know y'all get the gist of the story. And that's what happened, and it taught me a lot. I'm actually glad that I went through it now, and I hope I wasn't too all over the place. But before you go on, now obviously for me, this is my home state, you know, so it wasn't really a trip for me. It was more for her, but it was for both of us. You know, it was our first time meeting each other. But before you go on any type of trip, whether it's local, out the state, out the country, really consider who your friends are. Really consider who you're putting your trust into. And when it comes to online friends, I say start off doing simple stuff. Start off, now obviously we lived hours away from each other. I say start off with simple stuff. Start off like y'all both meet each other somewhere and then y'all both go y'all separate ways. You know what I'm saying? Somebody online can be somebody different in person, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's all I got for this video, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. And thank y'all so much for clicking on this video. Make sure you like and make sure you comment and make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video.